better than 2020? How can you tell? Using a conventional Snellen, you can tell when you're 20/20. Actually, it's the retina that determines your visual acuity, everything else being equal. But what is superior vision? Superior vision is a positive refractive state. That means you look at a Snellen and you're reading the 20/25 to 20/20 line, sometimes better. But if you want a positive status, you've got to measure it. If you're reading close to 20/20 and you hold up a -1 or -0.5, you can judge your refraction. Here is, one will be a -0.5 and the other will be a -1. You get these lenses from Zinni Optical for about $24, two of them, 2 pluses, 2 minuses. With them, you can judge your refractive status accurately. For instance, if you're just barely seeing the 20/40 line, you hold up a -0.5. Okay, look at the chart. You see, oh, that gets me to 20/25. Okay, so what's my refraction? You'll hold up a -1, and that gets you to 20/20. Now, most people could do slightly better than that. You put two lenses together, a -0.5 and a -1, and now you have a -1.5. With these, you'll probably see 2018, 2015. Why is this important? Because gives you an end point which you want to achieve. I strongly recommend this if you're an engineer, very curious, very persistent, and you like science, and you really want to do this yourself. Because people who do things themselves trust what they're doing. Here are the +0.5 and +1. If you look at them, you can see the power. The power is different, so you can barely detect the difference. So I marked them with 4 or 2 just to keep track of them, but you can tell. Now, what's better than 20/20? The Eskimos who did no close work, no reading. They had superior vision, and anybody who examined them, as did Francis Young, cited how superior their vision was. What was their refractive status? It was positive. They would have 20/20, you could hold up a +1, and they still had 20/20. Gradually increasing the power to 1.5, and they couldn't read the 20/20 line. But that's how you determine your own refractive state. Why is this important? Because that's how you protect your long-term distance through 4 years of college. You can change the refractive state of the eye in a positive direction. This is confirmed by primate studies. The eye tracks the accommodation signal. It has always been that way. Only our incredible bad habits as kids in high school, in grade school, and so forth, creates that steady movement negative. This is a normal eye controlling its refractive state to the average of what you're looking at. And the only way you stop that is by ending that close work that we're doing with wisdom and science. Now, I really can't say you can get out of a lot of it. But if you're going to do this, you need to standardize, not on any lens, but what you read on your Snellen. The same bright Snellen, same light, same looking, but average. No reading in an office in 5 minutes can tell you very much. But you at home, by constant monitoring, just have it up, look at it periodically, and be very patient. That is how you can know what you're doing. This does not require any medical involvement. It takes you looking at Snellen. I have no objection to medical involvement if I have a medical problem. So I take my eyes to a medical person, ophthalmologist, and when he says you don't have any medical problem, that means it's a refractive state and I must take care of it myself. Now I realize that kids don't have any motivations. Almost nobody has any motivation to do this. They really do not. The only person who might have the motivation is a pilot in high school who wants to stay qualified to see, and he's at 2040 and he's got to get out of it. This is where I want to talk to a person when he's at 2040, because now I can tell him that each year he's in school, he'll go down by half a diopter. This is just the eye adapting to the close work. It's that point that I can tell him in 4 years he'll lose 2 diopters. 2 years remain in high school, that's another diopter. He has no chance at all of qualifying as a pilot after 6 years of that. This means basically a decision to commit to wearing the plus while you're at 2040. And if you're looking for a plus to be a cure, anything like that, that can't be done and it won't work. So you should make up your mind about that issue while you're still reading the 2040 line in high school. Yes, this is not medicine at all. It is really science or science-based prevention. And you'll have to define exactly what you mean by science. So none of this is easy. Or easy, anybody could do it. But that's the whole point. From the study of Francis Young, it's clearly established that our eyes are going down because of this close work, and the eye has always been dynamic in this way. It's just no one wants to admit it or do that level of research.